businesses must make money for shareholders. It doesn't follow that that's the purpose of a business. What's the ethics of capitalism? What's the responsibility of companies? How do we deal with global warming? We can't separate business and ethics anymore. I'm Ed Freeman. I'm a university professor at the University of Virginia at the Darden School. I started thinking about the relationship between business and society 45 years ago as I was trying to understand really what business was about. We desperately need a new story, a new narrative about business. The old narrative about business, that business is about the money, and it's about making money for shareholders, has a hold on us, and we need to give that up. Look, every business has always created value for customers, for suppliers, for employees, for communities, and the people that put up the money. Business is about the interdependence of these groups, the interdependence of stakeholders. In fact, I'd venture to say the amount of money you can make is a function of how you deal with those other stakeholders. And that interdependence is what makes great companies. But that's not the only thing that business does. Business is a societal institution. Since the global financial crisis, we've had a renaissance of people thinking about what's the ethics of capitalism, what's the responsibility of companies, how do we deal with global warming, how do we deal with inequality, how do we deal with gender and race discrimination. And that kind of perfect storm has led a lot of folks to say that business is just about the money. It doesn't really work anymore. It's got to be a part of the solution. There are lots of ways to start, but the best way to start is to figure out what your purpose is. If you have a sense of purpose, then that will tell you what issues you work on. We can't separate business and ethics anymore. And so the idea that you have business on the one hand and ethics on the other is part of the old story. And that we have to do away with that. Business and ethics have to be integrated.